Okay, and we're back. I've gone ahead and repaired the ship, so I was thinking, since we want to head over to pick up some cargo in Polythreme, I believe, and also head to Nuncio, we could take this northern path away around. Let me just double check and make sure that we are in fact bound for Polythreme this time around. Yeah, Polythreme. So, I'll go ahead and get some resources here. And since we're heading north, I'll go ahead and just get some of that mushroom wine. We can stop it off at Vendor Bite. Whoops, picked up a little bit too much, it looks like. That's kind of silly that it can let you buy a stack of 10 when it wouldn't fit. Somebody needs to do their error checking code a bit better, it seems. Okay, to Vendor Bite. First, let's drop off this wine. Huh, this seems new. It is new. Assist a specialized collector. A dapper gentleman lounges by a dry fountain, admiring a frost moth with a predatory gleam in his eyes. Would you help him find the quarry of a lifetime? A man of pins and the jar. With a satisfied nod towards your ship, the incomparable Aurelian slips the frost moth into a killing jar. He explains as the pale blue wings beat against the glass. You've been beneath the waves, I see, and I trust that you've seen tyrant moths as well. Fine creatures, but nothing compared to the regal kin, the most moth. I know where to find it, and with your ship we can see it hatch. He gazes down at the frost moth, now still. Take me to the Undercrow, and I'll show you something worth preserving forever. So that's an underwater port, I'm assuming. And another one, a weak call for help. An emaciated man is slumped against a wall of the docks, sitting on a huge crate. He waves weakly at you. Oh, thank God, the dogged apprentice gasps. I don't know how long I've been here. It's been days, weeks since I ran out of money. I've got to get back to Rosegate beneath the waves. His crate rumbles beneath him. Please help me. And if you had anything I could eat. You can help him get to Rosegate, but that's it. He can come on board, but your supplies are reserved for your crew. Glad to be going home. The dogged apprentice uses the wall to help himself stand. I understand. That was too much to hope, citizen. I'm just grateful to be getting out of here. Do you think you could arrange some assistance with this? He asks, gently kicking his crate. It vibrates again. He smiles nervously. I promise there's no risk that he'll escape. Let's explore Vendor Bite, the Carmine Chapel again. Let's search the place. We failed the challenge. Okay. Let's get a port report. This is new. The last tour operator. This takes 12 supplies. Ah, okay, so this is like a big old journey. Can we get supplies here? Yeah, we can, but they're a bit more expensive. Maybe next time we come up here we'll bring some extra supplies so we can take a look at that. But for now... I wonder if those sell for more than we bought them in London. At any rate, let's go ahead and head on out. So we have two underwater destinations, the Rose Stone, and I don't recall the other one, but I'll think of it at some point. For now, I'm not too concerned about it. Also, this half-pace music is still going. I guess it has to do with having seen the eye while underwater. Wither. Sure, let's explore the town. Okay, this is the that monster that looks like the green dress. I was hoping we'd have a chance to actually kill it. That's too bad. Let's try to flee. Ooh. A terrible toll. The beast's neck snakes out and snaps up a single struggling sailor with terrible deliberation. The rest of you scramble inland. It submerges, eyeing you with reptilian malice, a Z-serpent that masquerades as a lady. Well, that's a tale to tell. Got a tale of terror, gained 10 terror, and lost 1 crew. You can do shore leave, lost 5 terror, okay. Oh yeah, the house. Yeah, we can gain the attention of gods. Alright, let's get a port report. And I think we're good. Let's try to avoid these creatures, they have a lot of health. This is new. Agree to a damp request. Seeing your ship, a drowning approaches with purpose. After a soggy exchange, it seems he seeks passage to the Untersee spire of Scrimshander. Sure. And we'll get a port report. I'll head over to Frostfound here. Talk to the squatters. I think that reduces terror. Yeah, it does. Get a port report. Now this is a new thing here with the monks of Godfall. Since we have all those foxfire candles, we can explore the shattered citadel. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all its occupants, probably. Why don't you take a look? Oh, so this might continue to consume candles. Yeah, new areas. Through the cellars, the monks have blocked the tunnels into the citadel. The starved men live there, one says vaguely. They're all dead, of course, but you still wouldn't want to meet them. Still, there's a gap in the cellar wall that they keep meaning to fix. Exploring the shattered citadel. All beneath is dark. The citadel is as dark as only a once bright place can be. It hung up there among the false stars, drowned in azure light for how long? Now it's here, so are you. Let's go deeper. The citadel lies on its side. All its halls and tunnels tilt crazily. Edge your way through like an ant through a broken puzzle box. Onwards, you found your way deeper into the citadel. Horrors walk. You found something, or it's found you. A black-jawed beast, mandibles slide wetly from the wall. We have a 100% chance of success dealing with this, that's good. A hollow snap. You had your eye on that curious projection. You push a Zaylor to the ground as the jaws close futilely overhead. Alright. Let's go deeper. We've succeeded. Silence. Silence. You've found something, or it's found you. Fight off winged things. It's as if the walls shed its skin. Suddenly they're on you everywhere. The air roars. They fill your mouth, eyes, nose. Nice, so our iron gives us a 100% chance here. Press on. Forge on. Your bosun grasps your shoulder. Each Zaylor grasps the next. Bow your heads and push forward. Let's go deeper still. Okay, we failed this time. We lost a candle. And we have to fight off winged things again, which is easy enough. Okay, this time we've passed. You found something, or it's found you. Search the church of the starved men. A cruciform chamber with a great altar, rows of rotting pews. Perhaps the windows once held stained glass. The altar is dripstone, painstakingly carved into organic shapes. Jointed limbs, eye bulbs, snapping claws, armored excrescences. An inscription on the altar reads, "So are we shaped." The stonecraft is perfect, but the spelling seems eccentric. 2 stone knives rest on its surface, along with a chunk of flint that might be a knife, a tool, or simply a lump of rock. 3 human skulls wait in a niche at the back. 2 have warped and lengthened jaws. The third has slumped and run like a melted candle, although it feels as solid as any bone to the touch. What now? You can press on, but the going will get harder from here. We have 2 outlandish artifacts, 3 lamentable relics, and 1 ambiguous Elith. I'm not sure if that's new or not. I think we may have gotten one of those before. Sure, we'll go deeper. Whoops, we failed there. You succeeded. Fight off a frenzied assault. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. A rabble of leathery mummy things, mouths agape, comes boiling from the crevices. Crooked limbs reach for you. We only have about a 50-50 here. We failed, we lost a crew, we gained 5 terror. Your crew crumbles. They're not strong, these leather remnants, but they're terribly tenacious. Not dead exactly. Half-living memories persisting on reflex and hate. Fall back. We've reached the midpoint of the citadel. Very bad things will happen if you run out of candles. Okay, let's just go ahead and back out. Because this is actually eating up our candles to back out as well. And I would like to go to that other port with the stuff with the post. That was interesting though. I'll have to come back there with a whole buttload of candles. Is there an underwater port here? An obstruction prevents you from diving. Seek clearer waters. Indeed, it looks like there is. Da Hut. Drownies built a copy of London as it never was. A cathedral and houses and fields of flowers all underwater. We have 0% chance of getting a port report while we're here. Well, we can buy some cheap supplies and fuel. But I didn't come here for this place, so I'm going to go ahead and head back to the surface and go to Polythreme. Perhaps another time. Gather intelligence, collect the cargo. We can carry claymen to London for some extra money, and we still don't have the watchful curio that we need for that guy. So let's head on over to Nuncio. Alright, we're back at Nuncio. Let's get another port report. Cataloging all the peculiarities of the place takes many pages. The tailor who imparts gilt buttons and braid just to be able to keep everyone's uniform in condition. The fashion of wearing a post bag with nothing inside. Wearing it open, wearing it upside down, torn apart, or as a hat. Wearing it any way that will show it doesn't have letters in it. Then there are the sitting rooms, papered and cancelled stamps. The bergamot's pomegranate curd on toast, the commerce in rat corpses, the hatred of cats, the absolute custom against ever issuing a paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It's the familiarity, the not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. Let's do some more shift work. Well, this is new. Offer employment to the postal rat's niece. He asks it as a favor, and she sounds well trained and eager. Strongest possible recommendation. The postal rat is grateful and says so at length and in a variety of ways. Only so much work to go around on Nuncio. She keeps asking to assist me here, but as you can see, a gesture at heaps of loose gears and unhooked chains, I hardly require any assistance, and my research is at so delicate a stage. But she's an excellent worker, very bright, like her mother. In combat, Radis Faber assistants can be deployed for quicker repairs. It's dangerous work. Don't expect them back. Let's descend into the basement with flame. Properly equipped, candles for the way and a flare for the bottom. Spiral on spiral on spiral. The descent is long and slow. You count the turns at first, but the time comes when you can't see the square of light from the door above and can't mark how far you've come around the spiral. You exhaust one candle after another. At the end, you come to a place where the ramp opens onto a bowl-shaped floor. The cavern must be hundreds of feet wide here. You light your flare, but even that does not show the cavern walls. The floor is carpeted with, at first you think it's gravel, but no, it is broken shards of clay and stone, all scribbled over in words too old to read. At the center of this space is a needle of deep black rock, glossy as resin, glistening with ice, inscribed with 3 arcane sigils that hurt to look at. You feel a meaning in their presence, a prohibition or a commandment. That all things must come to their destined place. That what cannot be delivered immediately must be saved against a future date. That a message that goes unheard is a tragedy. That the signal must be carried, no matter how far, no matter through what darkness, no matter whether the sender still lives, nor whether the recipient can even read the language of the writing. The inscription resolves itself and is known to you. No word lost. We now have a searing enigma. The climb out is slow and takes a long time. Could you possibly have come down this far? Surely not. Your breath grows ragged and your legs cramp. Sit down a moment. The rest of the spiral will still be there after you've got your breath. Visions? Dreams? You relax against a shelf. It isn't comfortable at all, as the edge of a metal box is prodding you between the spine and the shoulder blade, and somewhere off to your right is a sound like hoarse breathing. It doesn't matter. In the dimness you see, or remember, or dream, a silver tree growing in a courtyard. The reverie lasts only a few heartbeats before you're properly awake again. Ascend. There's no way out but up. At the surface, the dead letter office is still here, its machines still working, its baskets still filling with missed invitations and misplaced wills. Shouldn't it have been blasted away, destroyed by the force of what lies beneath? Tell the postal rat what you saw below. Maybe he will be curious. Without name, you start to explain, but your language doesn't have the right words to express it. The weight of the delivery commandment, the sacred necessity for every word to reach its destination, and the countless individual miscarriages of meaning from one entity to another which have occurred throughout history and are still occurring to the detriment of the whole universe. He holds up a paw. Not going to understand it no matter how much you explain, he says, and I'm glad, as if I did understand, I'd be likely to run mad working whereas I do. After a moment he adds, likely you'll forget, at least forget some of it. After all, you never wore the uniform. Then he points out where your hair has singed at the temples and gives you an ointment he keeps in a drawer. Let's end the shift and go to the tavern. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Let's ask to borrow a uniform. If you're to fit in here, you'll need one. Look but not touch. They're polite, even apologetic about your request. You're welcome here, and welcome to take shifts at the dead letter office, but you cannot wear the uniform unless you were a postal employee back in fall in London. Regulations. Blunt Thomas lets you have a look at his uniform jacket at least. Neat stitching, gilded buttons, a thin but dignified circle of braid at the collar. Inside, a patch that goes over the heart, stitched with 6 red letters. You can't read it, but it makes your eyes itch and your scalp feel like burning. So we can now either judge or honor the postman in light of what we know. All have failed or all have tried. I'll try honor. Saints and martyrs. Nothing about them now seems comical or strange. The regulation maintenance of their uniform is a mark of holy dedication. Their scars are earned by faith and hard work. They were given an impossible task, but none excused themselves just because of that. The hairless postwoman sees your glance and returns a rueful smile. Let's see. I think that let's see if we can borrow a uniform now. No, not yet. Let's explore along the beach again. Collect material for the dead letter office. Will of its own. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their address is permanently lost. but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that has bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upwards and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. We can keep collecting material, huh? I wonder how many it'll let us do. 7, 8, okay. That's enough. Going back to the office. Feed your undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. The gleaming hopper awaits. 52 categories. After prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute 7 invitations edged in gilt into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot. 2 oversized parcels, probably containing books, into the books tray. 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. The postal rat watches all this with an air of satisfaction. So none of our stuff is going to change because of this, it seems. Alright. Well, that is that storyline, so I think for now I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up here. I may return to London before I record again and go ahead and turn in our parcel to the blind brawler, but otherwise I will go ahead and sign this off.